Have you ever held a stone that hummed with a strange, inner warmth? A relic that felt alive? In the dusty highlands of ancient Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, there is a whisper from over 3,000 years ago. A whisper about a sacred stone, a divine gift, that glowed with a mysterious green light. And the terrifying possibility that this holy object wasn't just magical, but profoundly, dangerously radioactive. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is Hidden Histories, the Untold Files. Our story begins in Hattusa, the awe-inspiring capital of the Hittite Empire. Around 1300 BCE, this was a superpower, clashing with Egypt and ruling through a combination of military might and deep, intricate religion. Their pantheon was vast, but one text, a prayer to the sun goddess of Irina, mentions a fascinating object. It's described as a Kawanu stone, a green, possibly jade or jasper stone, that was divinely radiant. It wasn't just shiny. Texts suggest it emitted its own light, a soft, green luminescence. The Hittites called it the stone of the sun god, and believed it was a direct fragment of the heavens, a conduit to the divine. It was their most sacred palladium, their spiritual anchor. But here's where history gets speculative and, frankly, chilling. The description of this stone's glow is persistent. And in the early 20th century, when archaeologists first began excavating Hattusa in earnest, they found something bizarre in the temple district, an unusual level of background radiation. Now, this is Turkey, and there are natural deposits of things like uranium, so it was noted and largely filed away. But the coincidence is striking. An area housing a reportedly self-illuminating stone shows elevated radiation millennia later. This leads us to the core mystery. What if the stone wasn't just a pretty gem? What if it was a massive, polished chunk of radioactive mineral? Something like autunite, which is greenish-yellow and fluorescent, or even a type of uranium-bearing jasper. To a pre-scientific civilization, a stone that felt warm to the touch, that glowed with a faint, eerie light in a dark temple chamber, would be the very definition of the divine. It would be a tangible piece of power. They'd enshrine it, worship it, and likely keep it in a special, secluded room, which might explain the concentrated radiation signature in one area of the ruins. And then there are the health implications, a dark footnote to the mystery. Hittite records from the empire's later period speak of a mysterious, burning plague that afflicted certain priests and royalty. Symptoms described include wasting away, skin lesions, and hair loss. These are not typical of the pandemics of the ancient world, but they are hauntingly familiar to us. They sound like acute radiation sickness. Could the guardians of this most holy object have been slowly poisoned by its divine glow? The Hittite Empire did eventually collapse quite suddenly, around 1200 BCE, part of the broader Late Bronze Age collapse. While invasion and drought are the leading theories, one can't help but wonder if the slow, insidious decay from their own most sacred object played some small, tragic role in weakening the heart of their power. It's a theory that lives in the shadows of mainstream archaeology, compelling but built on fragments. No such green stone has ever been found in Hattusa. It may have been looted, destroyed, or buried so deeply we may never recover it. The radiation spikes could be entirely natural. The burning plague could be poetic metaphor. But the pieces fit together with a strange and unsettling logic. It makes me think about how we define power and sacredness. The Hittites saw a god in the glow. We see potential nuclear decay. Their reverence might have been a survival instinct misdirected. It's a profound reminder that the line between the miraculous and the lethal can be vanishingly thin, and that the truths of the past are often written in a language we are still learning to decipher. For Hidden Histories, The Untold Files, I'm Ibnul J. Farabi. This episode was produced by Light Knot Studios. You can find more untold stories from the edges of history at https://www.lightknotstudios.com.